How's it going?
Thanks.
Caitlin, the inaugural Fever season was 25 years ago. Do you know who the original number 22 was?
What?
Do you know in that season, can you guess how many points a game she averaged?
Putting me on the spot. Should have studied up.
Yeah, media guy.
Should probably pass the ball well, but 8.
7.2. Well done.
Round up.
I didn't want to lowball her.
Caitlin, did you ever get to that corn maze after the season?
I did not, unfortunately.
Yeah, because you were talking about how good it was.
Yeah. This year, I will go after the season. Promise. Get your review.
Caitlin, what's the excitement level going into the game at Carver this weekend?
I'm really excited. It should be fun. I can't believe it's already here. I honestly haven't been back to Iowa City a ton since I left a year ago now. So only been back a couple times, once for a football game and once for the jersey retirement. So it'll be fun to get back there, see some of my former teammates and my friends that are there. A lot of my family will be coming, so I know they're excited. I warned everybody, I'm like, there's not air conditioning in Carver Hawkeye, so we usually don't play basketball games in May, so
Yeah.
hopefully it stays a little cool in there. I don't know what the humidity is looking like, but we'll see how it goes. It might be a little toasty.
Iowa and Meg, and
Yeah. People at graduation when it's in Carver get a little hot, so but it's fine. It'll be fun.
Caitlin, Stephanie has talked about her 25 plus years being on women's basketball, how she feels like this roster is the best she's been on. How are you embracing this moment with such a big opportunity in front of yourself and that?
Yeah, that's all you can do is embrace it, right? Like, how lucky are we to have such a good roster and so many people that wanted to be a part of something, bigger than themselves. They saw something in this team and this organization, and you have to give Kelly and Amber a lot of credit on, selling them on this, and also them for being selfless and wanting to come here and be a part of this. So I'm just really excited. I'm lucky to be here and to have been drafted here last year, and for this franchise to put so many great resources in front of us, whether it's, obviously building the new practice facility or, just how much they invest into us and all the resources that they provide us. So really just fortunate and excited for our roster. Obviously, you don't have a lot of time to put it together. We play a back-to-back this weekend and have really only had, at that point, 5 practices. So it'll be a lot of learning on the fly, but the best thing you can do is just go out there and play with your teammates. It's the best way to learn. So we're excited.
How much easier is it to do that knowing that there's so much championship talent on the roster, and then the younger core of you guys, are used to the expectations of this franchise?
Yeah, I think having that balance is going to be really good for us. There's so many different weapons on this team. There's a lot of really great leadership. There's people that have won championships. Then we have our young core, our young players. A lot of people that are really, really hungry to win. And I think that's kind of what we were lacking last year. We got to the playoffs, and not only have we not won championships, we barely had playoff experience. So that was a glaring thing that we had to fix. And like I said, Kelly and Amber did a really good job of that. And those vets that have won and been on really great teams wanting to come here, we're really thankful for that. And just through these first few days of practice, everybody's been really great, and it's been so much fun. And you can tell everybody's just been very selfless and excited to be here and excited to put things together to make us a really successful team.
Have you guys been explicit so far about wanting to win a championship this year? And
Absolutely.
What does success then look like? Is that success? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Caitlin, as a basketball fan, what did you make of that Pacers finish last night?
It was crazy. I was down in the tunnel watching, so I had to go look at the ESPN win probability after that. It was like 97.9, which I'm like, how is it not 99.9? But one of the best finishes I've ever been a part of, and Pacers are so fun to watch, and it's been incredible to see obviously the state rally around them and how they support them, and also obviously how they support us, and obviously how the two teams honestly support each other, whether it's them coming to our games, whether it's us going to their games. Just both of us play a really fun style of basketball, and they're a really great team with a lot of different weapons. Their bench is really good. I think Rick does a tremendous job. So it's been fun for me to be here in the offseason and kind of see how they've evolved from the beginning of the season until now. And we're rooting for them to go the whole way. It'd be fun to have a lot of Pacer games at the same time as the Fever games. So good win for them last night.
Some of the other teammates referenced you guys having that bonding time at the game, and how do those little moments with so many new faces, how will that kind of lead to success earlier in the season this year?
Yeah, it's all about building relationships with your teammates, and that can be hard at this level when there's little time and you're always adding new pieces. Sometimes there's cuts, sometimes there's trades. you're signing new people, so you have to be really intentional about that. And I think, you know, being able to do that in a setting like that where everybody loves basketball, everybody loves going to support the Pacers, but you still get to know your teammates and spend good quality time with them. So just have to be intentional about it. And, you know, like I've said, like relationships is going to be the most important part of this, so you can have trust within your team.
Keelan, how would you compare like where you were at this time last year, like first week of training camp, versus like where you're at this year, like physically, emotionally, mentally, all that?
I think there was just a lot coming at me last year at this time. Like, I'm trying to move to a new city. I'm living in a hotel. I'm trying to figure out my teammates, trying to figure out new coaches and how this league works and how this league operates. And, you know, I played the last game of the college season. I played the first preseason game of the WNBA season. Then I played 11 games in 20 days. So it was a lot to take in. It came at me fast. But I'm also really grateful for that experience too. I think it taught me a lot about basketball. It taught me a lot about myself and how to be resilient and to come in and to work and to always get better. But I feel like I'm at a much better spot of understanding how the league works, what to expect, what the coaches and your teammates are going to expect of you, and obviously I've had a lot of time to rest and get better at things I want to get better at. So, you know, all that being said, like, you know, we got three preseason games to practice and really get ready for our opener on May 17th too.
What has
It's
it been?
been just a short time with you and Stephanie as your head coach. What do you appreciate the most about what you're learning from her right now here with the team?
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that I've always admired about Steph, and I've known her for quite some time now, obviously not on the level that I do now, but like, she just has a really, really good basketball mind. And if you listen to her call NBA games or college games, like, her knowledge of the game is far better than most people. Like, she understands how the game is supposed to be played, situation basketball. She knows what she's doing. She knows how to put people in positions to be successful, 1 through 5 on the floor. She's going to put us in lineups that are successful. But also, like, she's going to hold you accountable. She's going to coach you. And that's something I'm really grateful for. But also, like, she's just been a good sounding board for myself to, like, talk about certain things, whether we're watching NBA games or, you know, just talking about college basketball. Like, it's fun to have that type of basketball mind around where you can really, like, just talk about certain things. And you can tell how selfless she is too. Like, this isn't about her, right? Even though she's given a lot to this franchise. She's from this state. She won a national championship at Purdue. Like, coming here is far bigger than herself, but, you know, that's always what you kind of want from your leader, somebody that's going to be selfless. But at the same time, like, we want to win for her too. Like, she deserves it. So I'm going to try to get her another ring. She's already got one, so why not make it two?
You were at some of the press conferences in the off season where the signings were introduced, and going from there to watching this team come together on the practice court. What has it been like for you to watch this team really come together and start to play together?
Well, it's only been 3 days, so it's a lot of learning for sure. But also, I just think everybody's, like I've said this, I guess multiple times now, but really this their selflessness. And I think BB is the one that kind of stands out for me. Like, she's won championships, but she's here to provide knowledge to our young players to help us really get over that hump and be able to win. And the same goes for Sid and Tosh. But, you know, all of them are just here to kind of be that voice for us and somebody to lean on. And I really admire that because, you know, people don't always want to do that. So I think it's for us young players or for us people that have never won championships before is like leaning on them, relying on them, asking them questions. You know, we can count on them, but at the same time, like I said this earlier in my media availability a couple days ago, it's like I want to win for them. Like, seeing how selfless they are and, you know, them choosing to come here and choosing to be a part of the Fever, you know, they didn't have to do that. So I certainly want to win for them, and they deserve it. And, you know, they've been great, and they will continue to be great too.
Is there any difference between how you approach relationship building at this point from when you started at Iowa? And I guess if not, just how would you kind of describe your leadership style?
Yeah, I wouldn't say so. I think, you know, building relationships is all the same. Like, you need to have those relationships in life too. Whether it's with your friends, whether it's with your family, whether it's all of you with your job, like, how are you going to work with your coworkers and things like that? Like, you have to have relationships, and same for us playing basketball is like, you know, when things get heated in the moment, like, you need to know that they're going to have your back, that, you know, they have your best interests at heart, and same goes for you too. So I think that's all starts with relationships. So I think it's very similar to college. Like, you have to be intentional about, you know, they don't need to be your best friend, but like, you still need to have a really good relationship with them, and a lot of times they do end up being your best friend. So I think just being intentional and, you know, obviously we're all busy, but spending time with each other, even if that's like at the Pacers game or 20 minutes shooting after practice, those little things can go a long way.
Thank you.